And that was without even a single drop of rum.
This place, it's a pint. Why don't you just focus on the drink? It comes in pints. I can get you one. You've had all half already.
Good night and party on!
Party on, Wayne!
Party on, Garth.
All right, and it would not be a Creative Blue Collar Guy live stream if there weren't already immediately technical difficulties at 0 hour. I'm already seeing comments that there's an echo. My earbud says it's connected, but apparently I didn't even hear my intro. I honestly don't know if you guys can even hear me right now, because everything was working just fine until I was like 30 seconds away from hitting go live. My earbud cut out. I couldn't hear my own intro. I don't know what's going on, because I was going to try something different, try to have some lo-fi beats on in the background, maybe a little music for the chill stream, but because I can't hear anything, I don't want to take the risk. I'm just going to play a short clip here to see if I can hear anything, because I probably can't.
Be excellent to each other.
Nope, I had nothing on that. Let's see. Settings, audio. Well, first of all, it thinks it's connected to the wrong earbud. Hey, I can hear that. Let's try another one.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
All right, I could hear that. So I'm going to try something. This also might have been the cause for the echo, but we'll see how this goes. I'm going to try to have a little something for the chill stream, because it's supposed to be chill. Oh, come on, you son of a... If you're ever wondering just how budget this channel is, I'm working with the cheapest equipment I could possibly find. So yeah, it's super fun. So we're gonna share entire screen. Screen number 2 is that one is hopefully not connected to my audio here. Still can't hear it. Okay, I give up on that one. So much for having the music in the background. You guys are just gonna have to deal with me, and I think it just tried to connect to a different earbud again. Welcome to the stream. Hey, this is great. Let me try one more thing just to make sure if I do decide to play anything with audio that I can hear it on my end.
Hello. You boys like Mexico? Yeah!
All right. Okay. Seems to be working. I'm not messing with it anymore. I'm leaving it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. And to answer Devin from your comments before I went live, I did find a different beer this week, but it's one from the same brewery and a collaboration with Deftones, the same band, but it's a new one. I have a feeling I'm probably not going to like it because it's a blueberry wheat, and I typically don't like those, but I've tried all the other collabs they did with the Deftones, so it was kind of one of those, I don't know, I guess I'll just try it. It's only 4.5%. There's only 4 of them. So, yeah, we'll see. Belching Beaver, Deftones board, blueberry wheat. When you wish for the real one, this new Deftones and Belching Beaver collaboration brew has you covered. Board is an anything but average wheat ale, amplified with blueberries and a touch of vanilla, perfect for relaxing in the heat or for feeling reborn after a hard day's work. I think I need something a lot stronger than 4.5% to feel that after a hard day's work. grab a pint of this refreshing blueberry wheat and get boosted. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Anyways, and that was like I was messing with all sorts of stupid crap backstage. I forgot to come up with a poll for the chat today, so guess you guys are just gonna be stuck talking to me. Cheers. And there's way too many funny comments to already pull up in the chat, but of course we've got Lady Marine and Salmon Outdoors in the chat. Welcome to you both. And I expect nothing less than all the harassment that you were giving me for being about 30 seconds late. Already past your bedtime too. You're younger than me, and you're only an hour ahead, man. Blames technical difficulties. Yeah, all of that. Pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure that's very on purpose. So yeah, how's everybody's week going so far? For some reason, both Monday, Tuesday, and today have felt like it should have been Thursday. So that's been super fun. Nothing ruins your Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, like realizing tomorrow is not Friday. Although I do have family coming into town tomorrow. They're on the road right now. They'll be here tomorrow afternoon, so that'll be fun. I already mentioned it Monday. There will be no Monday show this next week coming up, late to the party news, because my family will still be in town and I want to hang out with them rather than do a live stream. Don't get me wrong. I like hanging out with you guys too, but family makes the road trip to drive on down this way. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be hanging out with them. So Lady Marine is currently waiting for the hurricane. I don't feel like that's anything you should ever wait for. But that's, hey, that's fun. Hope it doesn't go anywhere near you. And even where I live has recently been under hurricane watch, like over the last year or so. Obviously, like we just had a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind, and it wasn't anything. But strange things are afoot with the weather lately. But they'll all say it's climate change. Laying in bed, is going to take a nap. I remember the stream. I'm likely going to have a nap in a couple minutes. I'm pretty sure I could just listening to me ramble on about nothing will definitely put you to sleep. Don't worry about that. Oh, that's not good. Still tired. Had a video call with the higher ups not too long after that happened, and then had to deal with work the rest of the day. Yeah. And it's always hard when you work remote because you can't punch your coworkers in the face. Or maybe that's actually a good thing. I don't know. It's a good thing that I don't have coworkers. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. You're not wrong. That is an accurate statement. So yeah, let's figure out a couple of interesting topics to talk about. Let's see. This one's a little more kind of a non-issue. This one's more of an older topic from a few days ago, so it could have been a late to the party news, but I don't know. Maybe I found it yesterday. That one, not share audio, so we hopefully don't get an echo. So, as a big music fan, the fight against Ticketmaster and Live Nation has been very infuriating for someone like myself who enjoys going to concerts. There's been, I don't know, well, it probably hasn't even been a lawsuit yet, because if there's a lawsuit, there would be a trial or there'd be something maybe possibly moving forward. I don't know. But there's been people rallying against Ticketmaster and Live Nation over recent years, saying that they have essentially created a monopoly, which they have. So, so it's passing out. I know. All right, buddy. Well, yeah, we'll see you in the replay, and we'll chat tomorrow. Have a good nap. I probably should take a nap myself, but instead I want to put my stupid face out here for everyone to have to listen to my ramblings. So I forget how many years ago it was, but Ticketmaster and Live Nation essentially merged together. You can still buy tickets from each separate entity. You can go buy tickets from Ticketmaster. You can go buy tickets from Live Nation. They're the same price. They have the same fees. They have the same taxes. Live Nation owns a lot of the venues and arenas where people have to, if you're a big enough band like Iron Maiden or, whatever, like they own a lot of these arenas. And it's like, if you want to do an arena or a stadium tour, you have to go through their venues and then you have to go through their ticket agency. And in this day and age, with everybody, there's so many people got their hands in the jar as far as who's getting paid. It's like, okay, Ticketmaster, Live Nation, the band wants to get paid. They got to pay their crew that, hauls everything and sets everything up. The sound guys, the lighting guys, the venue takes a cut of their merchandise sales, everything. It's just like the reason why concerts are so expensive is because everybody wants to get paid. Reasonably so. I get it. Everybody wants to get paid, but it's like there's so many people. Like, why? The reason why, if you buy a t-shirt at a concert, why the t-shirt at the concert costs like $60, but if you buy it on their website, it's like $20. It's because the venue is taking the venue is taking a cut even from the sale of that t-shirt. And it's like, you got paid. You paid the concert promoter, you paid the venue, you paid the whatever. Like, why now? And I don't know what it's like in other cities and other states, but here where I live, even if you want a damn beer at a concert, it's like $20. I can get a 6-pack. I get probably 2 6-packs for $20 most stores. So everybody wants to cut. Everything costs keep going up and up and up. Everything keeps getting more expensive. So I first read about this term dynamic pricing when I think it was a year or two ago. I did a video on it where Bruce Springsteen was touring, and they figured if ticket scalpers could buy a ticket to his show and then resell it for, I don't know, $2,000, and fans are willing to pay $2,000 for a ticket to his show from a third party seller, from someone who probably just lives in their mom's basement and spends their days just snatching up concert tickets and then relisting them for sale at 1,000% markup. Bruce Springsteen looked at that and thought, oh, well, if the ticket scalpers can make that much money, why don't we just charge that much for the ticket and then me and the boys can get that? Part of me understands his logic that it's like the scalper is making that money, not the band and not the crew. Fine. But you don't try to match them or meet them where they're at. You're supposed to beat them at their own game. You are supposed to make it so that the tickets are non-transferable. You are supposed to make it to where if you can't make the show and you want to sell it and you want to relist it, that you can only list it for face value of what you paid for it. You have to make it to where there's so many things that could be done. And yet most bands and most artists are just going, oh, well, if the demand is there, we might as well charge it. And then at the end of the day, the fans are getting screwed, because what happens is, again, all these friggin' basement dwellers go on Ticketmaster and wait. Okay, right at 10 o'clock, boom, they go on, they buy the maximum amount of tickets they can, but then they probably have multiple email addresses with multiple different accounts. They buy up a bunch of tickets and they resell them all to the rest of us that have jobs and can't be sitting in a friggin' Ticketmaster waiting room at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday, and we can't get tickets to the concerts. And then it's like, we either don't get to go to the concert or you have to pay a scalper like 400% markup. And people are totally justifying it. Like Zach Bryan. Oh, I don't even want to get started on Zach Bryan. I've lost so much respect for that guy over the last year. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. He was one of the ones that was like trying to combat Ticketmaster. He was trying to do a thing of like, you got to go here, you got to put in your email address, you got to register, you'll get a code, you can go in, this, whatever. And then the tour he did like a year ago, he was like, oh yeah, I'm doing it through Ticketmaster. It's like, it takes a lot more than one person to take down the system. It's like, okay, but if more and more people say, screw you, Ticketmaster, I'm not using your service, eventually. But he wanted to play the stadiums, he wanted to play the arenas, and he gave in. So here we have rock and metal legends. Iron Maiden are going to take a stand against dynamic pricing ahead of their 2025 50th anniversary tour. Let's read on. When you buy through our links on our articles, nope, that's the article. Never mind. Oh boy, that's you might need to let that hair go, buddy, or maybe start wearing a hat or something. I don't know. What just happened to my screen? Iron Maiden have said there will be no dynamic pricing on tickets. So again, the dynamic pricing is the thing that Bruce Springsteen talked about, where it's like depending on the demand of how many people are buying tickets and what they're willing to pay for tickets, they can actually raise and or lower the prices in real time depending on demand. That is sick. Screw you, Ticker, screw you, Live Nation, and screw you, Bruce Springsteen, Mr. All Blue Collar Middle America. Yeah, okay. Your shows are probably just full of a bunch of doctors and proctologists and dentists, because those are the only people that can frickin' afford your concert tickets. The London Metal Superstars made their stance clear on X, formerly Twitter, on Sunday, September 22nd. They wrote in a reply to a previous X post announcing the tour, there will be no dynamic pricing for the Run for Your Lives tour. The band also confirmed that any tickets to the UK dates which are resold will have prices capped at face value. Let me just say that again for the people in the back. Any tickets that are resold will have prices capped at face value. Why is this so difficult? Why is like every concert not stuck to that standard? I mean, there's always ways around it. When you buy your tickets digitally, you have the option to get a physical paper ticket still mailed to you in the mail. So if people really want to go through the effort of having the tickets physically mailed to them and then try to sell it, who's stopping you? But how many people are really going to do that? That would cut down on this crap so much. But they don't want to, because I'm pretty sure Ticketmaster is still getting a cut every time that ticket gets resold. What it could be resold 2-3 times, exchanging hands, whatever. Ticketmaster's probably getting a cut every time. So they're like, why should we stop this? We don't care. Oh yeah, no, we hate this. And then they're over there, counting their money, like whatever. Capped at face value. And the tickets resale in the UK will be capped at face value and won't open until much closer to the start of the tour. As always, we urge fans to only purchase tickets from approved outlets. Don't get scammed, kids. It's pretty easy to get scammed out there these days. Oh, now I'm all worked up. What else do we got here? Oh, this is a fun one. I definitely want to talk about this because I think it's hilarious. Let's see here. Share screen. Don't need to share audio. So it looks like we got a handful of people watching over on Twitter. Welcome to you all as well. Don't be afraid to drop a comment in the chat. Let me know you guys are alive. Let me know you're there. If you are not already subscribed to the channel, if you want to take a second to click on that link on the video you are watching, hop on over here to YouTube real quick and subscribe. Also, make sure to like this stream, except for Lady Marine, who's already downvoted. But be gone, Menace. Who are we talking about now? Oh, because I haven't even said anything yet, but the headline is up here. So, first of all, who knew that Macklemore was even still relevant? Like, and you only have like one hit song like 10 years ago. Who really cares? But my I very quickly went from this guy isn't on my radar, I don't really care, see whatever, to now this is friggin' hilarious. And don't get me wrong, I will be one of the first people to defend someone's right to freedom of speech. That is again some of the many things that is supposed to actually make our country great is our many freedoms that we have, whether people agree with them or not, whether whatever. And right there, number one, freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want, and I support that. I am a big advocate of that. However, there can still be consequences to you saying something stupid that was fully your right to say. I'm not ever going to say that somebody should get canceled. I'm not ever going to say like, oh, they shouldn't say that, whatever. But it's like, if somebody else, say a concert promoter or a festival organizer, doesn't like something you say and they drop you, that is their freedom to drop you from their festival. So F around, find out. So I love this so much. I'm actually, before we do that, let's go. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the clip here that Devin sent me on Instagram. Man, you sent me a whole bunch of reels and stuff that I'm going to have to go back and catch up on now because I'm trying to find this one specific clip. Oh, that's a lot of backlog. We have a bunch of stuff to watch later. All right. What the hell is happening right now? My computer is freaking out. Nope, that's not what I was looking for. That's definitely not the clip that I want to play. Not that one. That one was funny. All right, here we go. And stop. Technology is hard. Hopefully y'all can hear this. Let me know. Macklemore dropped from the Neon City Festival. Come on.
From the Neon City Festival in Las Vegas after he started a Fuck America chant at his concert in hometown Seattle. And I mean, you had to see this coming. Derek Stevens is the festival creator who leans more conservative and definitely pro-American, so it just didn't make sense and the values just don't align. Macklemore's free to say what he wants, you don't have to like it, but he can't expect there not to be consequences or pushback, and that's exactly what happened. Macklemore has been officially dropped from the Neon City Festival in Las Vegas after he started a Fuck America chant at his concert in hometown Seattle. And I mean, you had to see this.
And you know, like I said, I support someone's right to say what they want to say. Somebody can say that, and the irony to me, more than anything, that I find incredibly ironic, is the fact that because we live in America and because we have freedom of speech, that you can denounce the country that you live in like that, and that's fine. But there are a lot of other countries in this world where you might experience some physical violence from the government because of it. You might be arrested and thrown in prison because of speaking out against your country or your government, whatever. So it's always so ironic to me, these people that are out there like, oh, F America, this isn't the land of the free. I'm going to burn the American flag. I'm going to this, I'm going to that, whatever. And it's like, the fact that you are actually free to do that without being put in prison is so ironic that you still do it and say, screw this country, we don't have any freedoms. It really blows me away. So let's go ahead and pull this article back up because it's so good. It's so good. Macklemore dropped from music festival after F America chant.
I love this moment so much I want to have sex with it.
Shortly after being announced as a Neon City Festival headliner, not even just one of the randos that's like stuck in the middle of that flyer in the tiny font you can't even read. He was going to be a headliner. Who's even still listening to this guy's music? What has he done since his thrift shop song or thrift, whatever the hell it was called, thrift store? I don't know. Dropped as a headliner because the rapper said F America. He was ultimately pulled from the festival due to unforeseen circumstances. I think those were pretty foreseen. Come on, work with me, computer. Moving a little sluggish. Come on, you can do it. Almost there. All right. On September 19th, it was announced that Macklemore would headline the inaugural Neon City Festival in Las Vegas. Less than a week later, on September 24th, the festival shared that Macklemore will no longer be performing due to unforeseen circumstances. In between the Neon City announcements, on September 21st, Macklemore performed at a benefit festival in his Seattle hometown called, oh God. Okay, now this doesn't surprise me one bit. A benefit festival in his Seattle hometown called Palestine Will Live Forever. During his performance, according to footage shared online, the rapper said, F America. Any of you in the chat, anyone that's watching either on Twitter, watching here on YouTube, whatever, please feel free to fill me in. I would really like to know why I see so many of these protests. I see so many of these demonstrations, all these things, whatever. Where like people are over here like down with America because of the conflict between Palestine and Israel. I'm not even going to get into the Israel Palestine thing because that's a whole other big topic that that's not quite my format. Like somebody here, especially in the music world, does something stupid, I'm going to call it out and I'm going to talk about it. And hopefully you guys in the chat are going to interact and also talk about it. But the whole Palestine Israel thing, whatever, that's a way bigger topic that I'm not even prepared to get into right now. But I don't understand why people are mad at America for what's going on over there. That's all I'm going to say about that. Macklemore has not commented publicly on his departure from the Neon City Festival. 2 Seattle sports franchises with whom he's affiliated, however, have addressed the musicians. Calling him a musician is a major stretch. That is a stretch. That's almost like calling a DJ a musician. Get out of here. Saying, quote, "We believe that sports bring people together and unite us. We are aware of Macklemore's increasingly divisive comments, and they do not reflect the values of our respective ownership groups, leagues, or organizations." The Seattle Kraken Seattle Sounders FC said in a joint statement, saying, quote, "We are currently evaluating our collective options on this matter." And you know what? That is exactly my thought on a lot of things too. I get it. A lot of different forms of art, whether it be music, whether it be paintings, whether, a lot of times people want to use their forms of art as a way to speak out on different social issues, different political issues. They, they want it to be controversial. They want to speak up about things. They want to, and again, that's their right and that's their freedom and that's their whatever. But more than anything, me as a musician myself, and like when I go to concerts and I go and see bands live and stuff, it's like you bring people together. I mean, I've seen the band Rammstein live before, and all of their songs are completely in German. Majority, probably 99% of the people at a Rammstein show in America have no idea what they're saying. They don't know the language, they don't know the words, whatever. But guess what? They all came together to see an awesome show with like music and pyrotechnics and band members getting lit on fire and stuff, and it brings people together. Sports too, I'm not really that much of a sports guy, but hey, whatever, people come together to watch a baseball game, a football game. But as soon as people start going out of their way to make all these divisive statements and make it all about them and make it all about their cause, it's like, get out of here. Like, can we not just have things in this world that people just enjoy for the sake of enjoying them? There are an awful lot of bands out there that I enjoy their music, but I recognize by listening to their lyrics and seeing stuff they put on social media that they have a lot of very, very different opinions than I do personally. But guess what? I don't really care if the band that I'm listening to or the band that I'm paying my damn hard-earned money to go see live in concert has different opinions than me. I really don't. Write it into your songs. If the song sounds good, I'm going to listen to the song. I'm going to go to your show, whatever. Where you lose me every single time, I don't care who you are, you're going to lose my interest if I pay money to go see you live and in concert and you take time in between your songs, meaning now you're no longer doing what I paid to come and see, is to see a band play music. And you start talking and lecturing and this is going on in the world and we need to blah and current events and politics and blah blah. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care what your views are. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care whatever. But don't take time out of your concert to lecture me about it. Write it into your songs. Play your songs. So yeah, I love when, people try to take something like a concert, a live performance. I would say a benefit performance, but because it was a benefit performance for Palestine, it's already kind of stupid, but we're not going to get into that too much more. It's like, don't take time to talk to me. Just play your damn songs. Tool is one of my absolute favorite bands that I have seen many, many times over. And I know the members of the band are typically probably very left-leaning, very liberal in a lot of things. But guess what? every time I have seen Tool live and in concert, they come out, they play, their lighting, their visuals are fantastic. The band, their performance is amazing. They're like everything about a Tool concert is top notch. And more often than not, when I've seen them, the only time that singer Maynard James Keenan, will speak or address the crowd is maybe after one or two songs. He might say, hello, thanks for being here. And then at the end, maybe one more, okay, thanks for being here. And now, because they have a pretty strict policy about restricting cell phone usage during shows as far as taking videos and whatnot. So usually open it up at the last song of the night. Okay, you guys can all take your phones out and you can record this last song. Thanks again for being here. Have a good night. And they'll play one more song. So it's like he speaks like twice, and it's basically just to say thanks for being here. Cool. Then they just play music. Anyways, man, I'm just like moving through these topics way too fast. This might be a less than an hour show, unless I can continue ranting. If anyone in the chat can get me fired up about something, we'll see. But let's talk about Happy Gilmore 2. So I feel like Adam Sandler hasn't really made a good movie in a while. He's kind of one of those ones like Pauly Shore, where it's like his career more or less kind of died in the 90s. But Adam Sandler has continued to make movies, whether he stars in them or not. It's under his Happy Madison Productions company. And I don't know. It's been a lot of like straight to Netflix. It's been a lot of not great, not any winners, not anything like Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison, like his big winners in the 90s. But when it was announced that he was making a sequel to Happy Gilmore 2, all I could think was the same thing. I think every time a movie says that they're making a sequel after like 30 years of, the original coming out is, oh no, why are you doing this? We don't need a legacy sequel of Happy Gilmore 2. So here we are. But somebody sent me this today that says, according to multiple reports, the writers of Happy Gilmore 2 are, quote, sick of woke trash, and that this movie will likely offend liberals, ... which is a good thing. You have my attention. Well, after that statement, they already had my attention. And then Sydney Sweeney has arrived on set for Happy Gilmore 2. She will be playing Cart Girl. Now they have my full attention. But I digress. Next screen. Here we go. All right. Happy Gilmore 2. Everything you need to know about the much anticipated sequel. I don't know if I'd call it much anticipated. But it's, let's see. Happy Gilmore star reunites with Netflix for the much anticipated sequel. So it sounds to me like this much anticipated Happy Gilmore sequel will only go straight to Netflix. So sue me. Adam Sandler's taking a trip down memory lane as he steps back into one of his most famous roles in his early career, Happy Gilmore. After years of fan speculation and rumors, Happy Gilmore 2 is officially in the works, with Adam reuniting with Netflix to bring the sequel to life. This announcement has stirred excitement among longtime fans of the original 1996 comedy, so almost 30 years, which helped cement Adam's reputation as one of Hollywood's top comedic talents. Let's just kind of skip ahead a bit here. It's the iconic scene of him and Bob Barker fighting in the original. Classic. Skip down to some of these bullet points here. What can fans expect from Happy Gilmore 2? Although plot details remain under wraps, fans are already buzzing about what the sequel might bring. In the original Happy Gilmore, Adam's character unexpectedly finds his niche on the golf course after his grandmother's house is threatened with foreclosure. So we know what happens in the first movie. So this is basically just going to be a bunch of we don't know, I think. While much of the storyline for Happy Gilmore 2 is being kept under wraps, we do know that several original cast members are making a return. Adam Sandler, of course, will reprise his role as Happy. And McDonald is back as his golfing nemesis, Shooter McGavin. Julie Bowen, who played Happy's love interest, Virginia Venit, in the original, is also returning to reprise her role. But it's not just the familiar faces that are exciting fans. The sequel will feature some exciting new additions to the cast, including American football star Travis. Do without that one. Currently making headlines as Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Like, okay, hold on a second. That other image I just pulled up says the writers of Happy Gilmore 2 are tired of woke trash, and then you're going to have the boyfriend of one of the most woke friggin' pop stars out there in the world right now. Oh, God. I'm rapidly losing faith in this as I'm reading this. Musician Bad Bunny, again, using the word musician very loosely. And filmmaker Benny Safdie, don't know who that is, who co-directed Adam's critically acclaimed film Uncut Gems. What in the world is that critically acclaimed? I haven't even heard of that one. This is going downhill fast, people. Speaking about the casting, Adam couldn't contain his excitement when discussing Kelce's role on the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. We have a nice something for Travis. He's going to come by. He's a very nice guy. You guys would love him in real life. What a big, handsome guy. Funny and cool as hell. He's a stud, and he's so funny. They're losing me, buddy. You're losing me, Sandler. Okay, let's skip ahead to the next bullet point. Just looks like the old Jewish neighbor that's like standing outside making sure the kids stay off his lawn. A star-studded lineup of cameos. Yeah, that first graphic I pulled up gave me hope. This is dashing all of them rapidly. Oh boy. All right. Let's see what we got here. One of the original film's most beloved features was clever use of cameos, blending the world of comedy and sports. The famous fight scene between Adam and Bob Barker remains one of the most iconic moments of the 90s comedy. With Happy Gilmore 2, fans can expect even more star-studded cameos. Adam has hinted that several professional golfers will appear in the film, although no names have been confirmed just yet. That's another thing where if there's professional golfers in there, anyone outside of Tiger Woods, I'm not going to know who they are. But apparently, somehow or other, golf has become really popular among people younger than me. It really blows me away. My favorite local brewery that I go to far too many times during the week has younger guys that are, 30 and under that work there, that if there's a golf match on, they will have the golf match on the TV in the brewery, and they will be on the edge of their seat watching that golf match. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, how did this happen? Anyways. Also, as I keep apologizing with my live streams lately, if it sounds like I'm on a construction site, it is because there's massive amounts of work going on in the apartment right next door to mine, and I can hear their hammering and their music like they're in my living room. I don't know if the microphone is picking it up, but if you are hearing a lot of random noise, can't help it. I'm basically living next to a construction site right now. I do apologize. Adam's close-knit circle of comedic friends, including David Spade, Rob Schneider, Kevin James, and Chris Rock, are also speculated to make appearances. Rob Schneider has been also making waves lately with some of his hot takes on things, so maybe there's some hope for this yet, that he's still friends with Schneider. Hey, there he is. Finally awoke from his mid-afternoon nap that, many elderly people need to take. You missed my whole big rant about Iron Maiden and Ticketmaster. The short answer is that they're not gouging people for their tickets, but Ticketmaster sucks. The actor is known for including his pals in his projects, so it wouldn't be surprising to see them pop up in this sequel. The tribute to Carl Weathers. Yes, cheers. While much of the original cast is returning, one person who sadly won't be part of Happy Gilmore 2 is, of course, Carl Weathers, who played Happy's one-handed golf coach, Chubbs. Well, that's at least an easy thing to take care of because the character died in the original movie. It's unfortunate that the actual actor Carl Weathers passed away more recently, but he wouldn't be returning anyways, so that's easy. Chubbs was an unforgettable character, and his dynamic with Happy was one of the highlights of the first film. Fans can likely expect the sequel to pay tribute to Weathers and the character of Chubbs in some way, honoring his legacy within the Happy Gilmore universe. Ah, you got a new fancy acronym and everything. I like it. With Moat. Yes, hopefully there was no pickle on your plate. The Netflix era of Adam Sandler. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of that. So yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings because, you know, as I already stated, we had this graphic here that suggests the writers of Happy Gilmore 2 are sick of the woke trash and that this movie will likely offend liberals, which is a good thing. But then in the article I was just reading through, they're going to have a cameo from Taylor Swift's boyfriend, which I don't know if you can be much more woke or liberal than that. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this now. Like, I was out and then I was in for a minute when I saw that graphic that I just pulled up, and now I'm out again. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's at the end of the day, it's another sequel that just doesn't need to be made. But you know, I just saw the Beetlejuice sequel a couple weeks ago that did not need to be made. What else has been coming out lately that just like the legacy sequels, the reboots, the remakes, everything? These things don't need to exist, you know. And I don't know how to feel about it. I think his career kind of died in the 90s, and it's great that he's got his production company, but is he really making anything all that great in recent years? I don't know. Yeah, and then I know, Roman, you don't really care about the original Spaceballs all that much, but there's a Spaceballs sequel in the works with Josh Gad. What could go wrong? I heard some people saying but Mel Brooks is still going to be involved, so it's probably good. Mel Brooks is like almost 100, so I think he's just signed on in name only. You know, I don't think he's really having a lot of creative input at this point. Okay, see, that article is from June. That's from June. I swear I just saw something recently. July, August. Let's look up this one. Let's see what we got here. That Spaceballs sequel just got an otherworldly update. It would help if I shared my screen so I don't just look like I mean, I guess I am just sitting here talking to myself for the most part anyways, but whatever. Let's see if we can fix this. Get rid of that and that. Okay. We're getting somewhere here. Spaceballs is a cult classic and a favorite of both comedy fans and fans of Star Wars, but not Roman. But that's okay. We still love you. Now we are getting a sequel to the beloved 1987 classic with Josh Gad writing it. Josh Gad writing it. So yeah, Mel Brooks is probably signed on as like a producer. But let me just look this up real quick. I know he's in his 90s, but I want to find out like exactly how old Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is 98 years old. 98. I don't think he's really doing much with this. He should. The man should just retire and just rest. He's had a great career. 98 years old. Oh my gosh. Wow. So Josh Gad is writing the Spaceballs sequel. At Fan Expo in Canada, the star of films like Frozen, as well as the live-action Beauty and the Beast, confirmed that he's penning the script for the sequel to the Mel Brooks classic written by Ronnie Graham and Thomas Meehan. That's a funny name. The original film starred Rick Moranis, John Candy, and Bill Pullman, and a cast of comedy legends. Right now, we do not know who, aside from Gad, who will also star, is set to join the cast of Spaceballs 2. Gad was talking with moderator Victor Dandridge, where he revealed he was working on the sequel, along with talking about his other projects, including Frozen 3. Nobody cares. What we know about the ending of Spaceballs can maybe give us a clue as to what is going to happen in Gad's story following Lone Star, played by Pullman, on his quest. The story was ultimately a love story between Lone Star and Princess Vespa, but it used a lot of fun little nods to other movies on top of spoofing Star Wars. The end of the original film left Dark Helmet, along with Sanders and Scroob, unable to escape on the pods before Spaceball 1 exploded, landing them on the planet of the apes. There was also the singing xenomorph from the Alien franchise. Don't forget, Spaceballs is filled with seemingly random sci-fi references. I'm pretty sure I saw this movie at way too young of an age, so even though it was like a funny, like a parody, that ending scene was pretty weird to see as a child. Any involvement will be administrative. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, another one definitely will not be rejoining, as well as John Candy. Rest in peace. What is so fascinating about the idea of a sequel to Spaceballs now is that a lot of the things being referenced in the original film are still being made today. Ultimately, it's a comedy about Star Wars, but it also makes references to Planet of the Apes, Alien, The Wizard of Oz. Maybe I missed the Wizard of Oz references, but I haven't watched this one in a while, and even Star Trek. All those properties have had new projects recently or ones that are coming out down the line. Wicked counts. No, it does not. No, it does not. We just got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes earlier this year, so a follow-up to Spaceballs poking fun at any of these franchises has a lot of potential. I disagree. But, what do I know? While we've moved away from the Brooks-esque comedies, many want to return to them, constantly asking about a remake of his classic films or films like The Princess Bride. Wait. Films like his new from the constantly asked. I thought The Princess Bride was Rob Reiner. Roman? Yeah, I'm fairly confident that Princess Bride was not Mel Brooks. It's a very similar style, but anyways, which is heavily inspired by his work. I got ahead of myself. Gad tackling Spaceballs 2 feels like a perfect choice, and hey, why not bring back the singing xenomorph just for Alien Romulus fans? If they try to rehash that same joke, I swear, no, that's what I thought. So yeah, I just said it was heavily inspired. So I got ahead of myself on that sentence. He didn't used to be. I mean, Princess Bride was great. Spinal Tap is a classic, which now they're going to make a sequel. They're making a sequel to Spinal Tap. So they're going to ruin that one too. They're just ruining everything now. Going to go back and apologize for all their problematic jokes from the 80s, the 70s, and the 80s. Stay tuned. I'm not looking forward to that one. Yeah, it's not going to be good. Not going to be good. So they're saying many want to return to the Brooks style comedies. I don't even make a sequel to Blazing Saddles. Huh? What do you think about that? That would be a good one. But then again, they would just ruin it. So what was I just saying? Something. Oh, Spinal Tap. That's what it was. I was just talking about that. They had a little bit more time to kill. Let's look up any updates on the Spinal Tap sequel. It's just going to be awful because it's going to be made by Rob Reiner. Another individual with severe TDS, otherwise known as Trump derangement syndrome, up there with the likes of Stephen King, that everything they post on Twitter is just how much they hate someone who has not affected their life in any way, shape, or form. These are all quite a few months old. But just for killing a little bit of extra time's sake, let's look up one from March. Everything we know about Spinal Tap 2, Rob Reiner's long-awaited sequel. Why do they keep saying long-awaited? I love the original Spinal Tap movie. I have never wanted a sequel to that movie. I never wanted any sequels to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And that was like one of the dumb bro comedies of the, 80s, and then the sequel in the early 90s. Like, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey was fine. They still probably didn't even really need to make that. But then the Legacy sequel that just came out a couple of years ago, that did not need to exist. When Keanu Reeves said, "Oh, I think people are really curious what Bill and Ted are up to 30 years later." I'm like, I wasn't. I was perfectly happy with the last turd they put out. I'm like, leave it alone. Leave it alone. I think audiences would love Mel Brooks style work. The studios would never touch it. And that's the thing. That is exactly it. Mel Brooks's comedy was inherently offensive. He was not afraid to offend people, whether they were racial jokes or whatever. I mean, you like Blazing Saddles is probably like, if you took like what's like one of the younger generations now, Gen Z, I think, the ones that were like born like after the year 2000 or something. If you took like a Gen Zer and sat them down and showed them Spaceballs, their brain would probably explode. Or no, I'm sorry, Spaceballs, Blazing Saddles. If you showed someone under the age of 30 Blazing Saddles, they would explode. And it would be hilarious. Definitely not awaited. Not awaited at all. Like I already said, I love the original Spinal Tap movie. And at the end of it, I was like, that was funny. That was great. I loved it. I don't need any more. I don't like I grew up in a time, and I know everyone else that's in the chat right now, we grew up in a time with only 3 Star Wars movies. And while I recognize that by the time they made Empire and Return of the Jedi, they started tacking on the numbers of like, oh, this is episode 4, 5, and 6. So inevitably we were going to get the prequels. Like, that's fine. Whatever. We were going to at least get 3 more. We got the prequels. They were disappointing at best. And then we were like, oh, okay. So we got the original trilogy, Luke Skywalker's story. Okay. Now we got 1, 2, and 3. We got Anakin's journey, which was terrible. But I guess he had an obligation to make it because he decided to number his movies 4, 5, and 6. Whatever. And then that was it. That was the end. At the end of Revenge of the Sith, I was happy enough to be like, okay, they've completed the story. They've connected the 2 trilogies. We're done. We're good. Then Disney bought the property. And from the moment it happened, this wasn't even when this was kind of before Disney was as bad as it is now, for lack of a better way of saying it. I don't know, whatever. Even when I first read that Disney had purchased not Lucasfilm, but the rights to Star Wars, right away I was like, no. I was like, I am a fan. Like, some of my earliest memories are watching Star Wars movies, the original trilogy, and I don't want any more Star Wars movies. I'm like, I'm good. I think we're good. We don't need any more. And look at where we're at now. Like, more is not always better. As soon as Disney bought Star Wars, I was like, they're just gonna ruin it. It's like they're gonna put out too much content and they're gonna ruin it. And it's like, sometimes you just need to leave it alone. Same with the Alien franchise. That last article I was just reading, talking about the Alien sequels and the everything and the blah blah blah. Like, nothing beyond Aliens needed to exist. Alien and then Aliens, leave it alone. Alien 3 was an absolute turd. Alien Resurrection was, I don't even know how to describe that one. Prometheus had potential, but it could have been its own movie, but then Ridley Scott went back and forth. It's a prequel. It's not. It's in the same universe. It's and then he just like shoehorned a freaking prequel in there, and it was stupid. And then Alien Covenant was awful. Like at some point, you're just explaining too much. You're explaining away the mystery of what made something interesting. In that very first Alien movie, very similar to Jaws, you don't see the monster or the creature for a majority of the movie. You are scared by what you don't see and the people being stalked and hunted, and then you finally see it and you're just like, ah. But now they've tried to come up with this whole backstory of where the xenomorphs came from, and it's like, well, that's stupid. That's the best story you could come up with. Like, yeah, episode 4 was just a throwback to serial films of the 20s. It wasn't a predictive indicator. Well, either way, George Lucas did what he was going to do, and the prequels were not good. But after he made the prequels, it was like, okay, we're good. We have completed the story arc. We have seen Anakin's journey. We've seen Luke's journey. It's over. And then Disney said, hold my beer. Yeah, and then knowing the history of the xenomorph did not make it better at all. It made it less interesting. They made it lame. And what is up, No Void? Yeah, so I haven't really been boosting my live streams on Instagram all that much lately. I'm not sure if you're on Twitter or not, but yeah, every Monday and Wednesday doing live streams again. Usually on Mondays, I most of the time have Roman and some other friends on. Wednesdays, I just sit here and drink beer and ramble on by myself. It's just fun to just, I don't know, sit here and just rant about shit that pisses me off. Like, well, that's typically where I promote this stuff now. Instagram is kind of a little more on the personal side of things, whatever. So Twitter is kind of more of my like, go, YouTube shit. But yeah, so all that ranting aside, let's talk about the not long-awaited Spinal Tap 2, which, as I said, this article's from back in March, but let's try to kill a couple extra minutes before I hit my hour. And yeah, almost 40 years to the day of the release of This Is Spinal Tap. Fans are delighted. Wrong. No one is delighted. To hear that the very long-awaited, also not long-awaited, nobody wanted this. Nobody wanted a sequel to Spinal Tap 2. Nobody wanted a sequel to Spinal Tap, especially not made by Rob Reiner, who has major TDS now. Currently in production with This Is Spinal Tap's original director, Rob Reiner, returning to write and direct the film. Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer, and Reiner all reprising their roles. Audiences are ready to see what their favorite heavy metal band has been up to the last 4 decades. I'm not, but let's read on. Maybe I can get rid of this ad. Yes, much, much too old. But I mean, they could throw in some jokes about Ozzy still trying to be in the game. This Is Spinal Tap is a mockumentary style. Okay, we know about the original. We don't need a rehash of that. If any of you are just now joining, I'm kind of getting close. I try to keep my live streams down to about an hour, give or take or so. But I went down this rabbit hole by talking about the Happy Gilmore sequel that is also coming up. So I thought, let's kill a couple extra minutes by talking about the Spinal Tap sequel that nobody wants. We also talked about the Spaceballs sequel that nobody wants. It's going to be written by Josh Gad. Yay! Olaf from Frozen. Despite some of the big name actors, blah, 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 blah. Rob did such a good job at making this film look like a real documentary that many viewers believe that Spinal Tap is a real band, despite some of the big name actors in the cast. Let's skip ahead a little bit more. 1984. That movie is about a year and a half older than me. I mean, like I already said, like he's Rob. It's like Rob Reiner and Stephen King are like two people on Twitter that just have like the most extreme TDS out there, that it's like they don't know how to go on carrying on their lives knowing that Trump just exists and breathes air. So there was a time where Rob Reiner made good movies, but I don't think he's capable of that anymore, because I'm sure he's just going to cram some sort of stupid agenda into this and like find some way to apologize for any problematic jokes in the original film. Because Spinal Tap 2 has just begun filming in New Orleans, there's currently no release date for the film. However, the movie likely won't be released until late 2024. Well, it's almost October, so I'm thinking that's been pushed back a bit. Is there a trailer? No, there's not a trailer. Who will be in it? We already said Michael McKean, Christopher Guest, and Harry Shearer. We don't really have much other information. So yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much that. I don't think we need to keep harping on that. The short answer is stop making stupid sequels. Gotta go, gotta ride home before more rain hits. All right, well, thanks for tuning in, bud. And yeah, I'll let you know. Like I said, we go live every Monday and Wednesday now. So always good to see you pop in the chat. And yeah, have a safe ride home. Hope you beat the rain. And talk to you on Instagram probably tomorrow. Let's get it pushed to never. Yeah, I agree. 2 peas in a retarded pod. Yes, that is also accurate. Well, with all of that being said, oh, you put it in quotes, so I'm guessing it's not actually that much of a hurricane scare, because I mean, I know you live in Florida and all, like that is kind of a thing, but if you're not worried about it, that's all good. But either way, hope you beat the rain and make it home safe, because people still drive stupid in the rain too, even if it's just regular rain. Well, at least in California, but everyone in California is stupid. Myself included. I'll totally lump myself in there. I'm just a different kind of stupid. But with all that said, I think I am going to call it a night. I will not be doing a Late to the Party news show this coming Monday. I've got some family coming into town tomorrow. They'll be here through Tuesday. So rather than hanging out with all you lovely folks here in the chat, which I always do appreciate, I always enjoy hanging out and ranting about a great many things here. When family comes into town and actually makes the drive to, physically be here and hang out, I'm going to spend that time with them. But I will be back the following Wednesday, so 1 week from today, with another After Work Beers. I'll probably have a few more topics to talk about since I'm not doing a Monday stream, and I'll be extra late to the news on a lot of things. But anyways, thank you guys all for popping in. Null Void, Roman of the Empire, Lady of the Marine, Lady blah blah blah, Lady Marine. Words are hard. And Selman Outdoors, as well as any and all of you who are watching over on Twitter. I appreciate every single one of you. As all, make sure to like this video, hop on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you'll get notified when I go live every Monday and every Wednesday, but not this Monday. And yeah, hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening or morning or afternoon, wherever you're watching from, and enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you next Wednesday. Cheers.